Welcome to the Creative Playing Podcast Network. Join us as we review our favorite RPGs, collectible card games, MMOs, video games, PC games, and bring up interesting topics and things that we'd like to share with everyone. Sit back and enjoy the show.
Hi, this is Kelly, aka Trixie from Ragnarok and Roll, a Scion to Ragnarok story, and Tilda Wimblewick from D&D Journey of the 5th Edition. First off, I would just like to say thank you to everyone for listening to our varied adventures, as well as for rating us on iTunes and RPGpodcast.com. If you haven't rated us yet, we would greatly appreciate it if you could. And if you're looking for more ways to support our efforts, we are now on Patreon, a great site where you can help us continue making more podcasts, as well as some special surprises for our patrons. If you can, please look us up at www.patreon.com/cppn. Every little bit helps. And again, thank you for listening.
Hey guys, welcome back to #RPGaDay 2017. Now in its 4th year, this August we're again asking tabletop role players everywhere to tweet, blog, YouTube, Instagram, Tumblr, and Facebook their #RPGaDay answers to celebrate everything cool, memorable, and amazing about our awesome freaking hobby. August the 17th, this is a great question. Which RPG have you owned the longest but not played? That's a sad fact. You know, it's when you buy that RPG and it just sits on your shelf. It is a horrible, sad fact, and I'm one of those, bookophiles that never gives up a book, by the way. I mean, if I buy a book and read it, it ends up on my shelf or loaned out to friends temporarily until it comes back to me. So this one, I actually had to go look at my bookshelf to get a double check on that. What is the oldest one on the shelf, but yet I haven't played? And here's one that's going to send some of you guys back to memory, and some of you guys are going to go, I've never heard of this. EverQuest the RPG. A while back, there was an MMO way before World of Warcraft called EverQuest that literally had the most amazing adaptation of Dungeons & Dragons ever. I mean, literally, it admitted it stole verbatim. I mean, it had all your standard classes, the monk, except one thing I did love in EverQuest is you had evil races that were playable. So you had your drow, and you had your trolls and your ogres. And the thing was, each of the societies had an amazing faction system where if you were playing a dark elf, you would die most of the time going to any of the human or good race cities because you were kill on sight. So, after that game came out for a while, they actually made a role-playing game based on 3.5 D&D, kind of based on 3.0, but it was just at the cusp of when 3.0 and 3.5 came about, that had a really, really fantastic adaptation of EverQuest to a game. I mean, it even had a perfectly working system of the different classes. So I bought that one, of course, thinking, oh my god, this is the best thing ever, because, we used to play ridiculous amounts of EverQuest. We literally had LAN parties back when folks did LAN parties. Spend the weekend over at my friends gaming because their internet connection was great. And, well, this was back when I was on dial-up, to give you an idea how long ago it was. It's like half my life ago, I think. So, EverQuest, the RPG, based on 3.5 D&D, which, hey, I've still got all the books. I mean, they did a fantastic job of fleshed out into an RPG. So maybe one of these days we'll give it an old run-see and see how it works out. Because, they really did do a good job of balancing that game back in the day. Especially with the different types of wizards. That was one thing I loved about that game. Because you could have your magicians with your fire elementals and your summoned items. And, so much more magic than is in 5th edition right now. And one interesting thing in that game is it actually used a mana system instead of the per day system. It had metrics to break it down so you could play per day spells or you could play mana, but I was always a huge fan, thanks to playing Rifts and Palladium, of having the mana system. So that way you could, pull the mathematician game on your magic energy and parcel it out through the day. Alright guys, so that's actually something we might have to just break the seal on EverQuest RPG. August the 17th, which RPG have you owned the longest and not played? Because hey, I gotta fix that for a lot of people. We got to be playing Polaris. We got to be playing Coriolis. We got to be playing Mutant Year Zero. I want to make sure folks that have games on their shelves, we get them out, we play them, and we enjoy the heck out of them, because there's nothing sadder than an RPG that just sits there collecting dust. Hopefully you at least read it cover to cover so you can enjoy it, because most RPGs also have really good story fluff in them too. Alright guys, thank you for listening, and we are mostly over with RPGaDAY now that we're at the 17th, so it's all downhill from here, but all the questions get really good. Alright guys, talk to you later.
Thank you for listening to the Creative Play and Podcast Network, and feel free to enjoy our other shows such as D&D Journey of the 5th Edition and Scion Ragnarok and Roll, a Scion hero to Ragnarok story. Thank you for listening.
Hey guys, I got a quick question for you guys. Would you be more interested in listening to a Mutant Year Zero game, where you guys are playing mutants and the apocalypse and, crazy things are happening? Or would you be interested in Mutants and Mastermind, a superhero game, where basically it's comic book style superheroes? I'm really curious to know which one you guys would prefer. And if you give me some comments on my email, creativeplaypodcastnet@gmail.com, or shoot some messages on the Facebook, Creative Playing Podcast Network, or come on over to our website, creativeplayingpodcastnetwork.com, and leave some notes on some of the comments we've got there. Let me know what you guys are interested in, because we want to play some games, and we're actually willing to leave it up to you guys. I mean, we've got some other games that we're going to be doing. Dresden Files set in Victorian New York and Victorian Tombstone, so those are going to be fun as well, because hey, we come from Southwest Arizona. We definitely have to put some Southwest into our Dresden Files. So go ahead and let us know what you guys want to listen to, because we love playing games, and we love sharing our games, and we love listening to ourselves playing games months later, as well as, the day after. So just let us know what you guys would like to listen to, and we want to have you as part of the show as well. So just make sure to go to patreon.com/cppn. You don't have to be a patron to answer the quizzes we have and the polls we have. We just want you guys to join in and share in the fun, especially when I come up with the "and what's going to happen next?" Because I love you guys throwing some fuel on the fire there, what it is you'd like to see me do horrifically to other people. So hey, let us know, guys. And like always, thank you for listening. I can never say it enough. Thank you for listening.